Priceless. What up, man? How we doing? Flowers. Listen, man. Nah, I've been working out all day. Like, I work so hard right now. I'm so sweat right now. I'm, yeah, listen, now I'm telling you the truth because they won't even tell you. Yeah, you gotta wake up at 4 in the morning. And you gotta see the morning start. I'm telling you, you gotta see the morning start. I know what you've been doing. You be sleeping way too much. Furthermore, I'm gonna jump right into it because I know you time is on them. And listen, the overspill of an idea. That was the first topic. That was the first part of the morning, and we'll jump into some sports. Yeah, but the overspill of an idea, how important it is, and how we talked about how sports, the game of soccer. Some people call it football. Around the world, they call it football, and how it changed. But now, how the new ideas and the new investment in the tactics and the technical ability, all the people and the sportsmanship of it. But what's so important is to the money. It's not necessarily money too, because it's at the point it's where the money in it, the investment in the opportunity of the clubs, but the investment and the technical abilities. It's such a transition period for the game too. It's a huge transition point for the game. Back in the World Cup with Brazil, Brazil, and you know what, dude, about this? I'm gonna tell you something about this because this is really interesting to me. It was at the final. It was Brazil and but Brazil and Germany. But the thing is, Brazil had played Turkish in this World Cup. The Turks. And Hassan, I think the guy's name was Hassan. I think he was the midfielder guy. He was a striker. I've not looked him up for a while though, but it's a game in the World Cup where the Turks play also, and it was really good game. And Belgium played also. I think this guy named Vanuka was in it also, right? But he had also played in London anyway. But it was really the game was really a good game with the Turks. It was a good game with Belgium too. I think Belgium probably felt away when that game. They felt possible like they didn't get some calls that they didn't went go that their way. But it's important playing the referee too in the game, in certain games, because all the players out there shoots at times. It's like the referee having just a challenging times to really deal with these guys out there. So it's not easy to deal with it. Just imagine 11 different players, 11 different countries, 22 different players, 22 different countries. You know, this it's a yeah, it's just a mess out there. Because even some of the players said Brazil sometimes, well, 90% of the time, Brazil players are from Brazil, but sometimes I have a mixture, which is really good though. It's good. It's good because that's how the diverse culture exercise itself. That's how the diverse culture in the game that's really build a monument and build foundations of stuff. If you listen to Mark Raven in his speech, he's like, when he says, don't be a sugar cookie, and the guys with the smallest, they're the smallest paddle, and they always win. But it was just exercising how the diverse sculpture of, and basically that's what he said is the diverse sculpture that was in the boat that went on the race. But he didn't say it in these same words that I say. I said, but it was not necessarily from that. But now that you can connect the dots, that it was basically the same kind of structure. So through the valleys and the terrains of the mountains, through the winding turning curves and amongst the hills of Great Smoky Mountain, into the towns and a small surrounding city of this historic land with many history of the place and its people. It's also a place that many call home. People, corners of the world, somehow. Corners of the world. of somehow finding home here. And this, when you sit in a World Cup stadium, when you sit in a stadium with people all corners of the world and watch them exercise their talent, exercise their creativeness, exercise their culture, exercise what they stands for, exercise their heart, exercise their soul, exercise the embodiment of themselves and who they are and what they stands for. And this is amazing because, and this is unbelievable at the same time. How unbelievable this is, and it's beautiful to see. It's great to admire, and it's in collaboration with through the valleys and the terrains of the mountains, through the winding turning curves on the monstrous hills of the Great Smoky Mountain, and into the towns and the small surrounding city of this historic land, with many history of the place and its people. It's also a place that many call home. People at corners of the world have somehow find a home here in the Smokies, which transform each and every one to be a part of the core of a county, a town, a city, a state, and a country. How remarkable is this story? A multi-race and gender is a part of our daily success. It's an unbelievable diverse sculpture in this place of beauty, character, and love. This is what's exercised on the field. This is the passion. This is the glory. And this is the fight. And 90, sometimes 50% of these players are the players that grew from the concrete. Sometimes 50% of these players are the players that the community would see walk night and day go play the ball at the stadium on the field with no grass, or sometimes if it's basketball it's the same thing, they play in the rim with no net on it, they play and the broken down rim. And if it's baseball, the same, the field with no grass and a little bit of grass or just the gravel. It's the same. Even for cricket it would be the same thing. Sometimes they couldn't, you find some pitch that is not rolled because cricket, the pitch of the cricket, it has to be rolled with a roller to soften the pitch in the clay on the texture of the earth and the pathway where the ball is bowled. It has the pitch. It also has to be a certain texture. It also has to be a certain kind of moistness to it, and sometimes it's just grass. And so sometimes when you look at the world in the best, you see the best of the world, the world that a world that comes from the west becomes to the best of itself in the transformation, and it's unique, and it's really awesome to see this display at times, and how unbelievable and how passionate it is, and how wonderful it is to see this event play out. So when you're sitting in a stand in the Coliseum, or when you're sitting at the college football game, are you watching the college game? Are you watching a pro football? Are you watching a basketball game? That's your players from all corners of the country. Their ambition and their courage and demonstrate and illustrate who they are and what they stands for. And 90%, I don't want to say like 100%, but it could be great to 75% of those players are players that grew up with absolutely nothing at times, and so it's those players becomes. It's funny. You would think those players would play baseball because sometimes those players get a once in a lifetime shot, and so with the mentality of that, they have to have the mentality. They have to have the mentality of the once in a lifetime shot. Those players would be do would be an awesome baseball player because 90% of the players that grew from the concrete, or the players that's the Moses in the basket, those players are the players that sometimes get one shot. Even football players are like that. And when they get hurt, when they get injured, it's 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 a shattering experience for them. So you know those or and those of this such a unique flavor and style and passion to it, which you see it goes back to the rich needing the poor because the poor displays such a awesome gallantry of guts and character and a smile that no one else in that could ever put on their face. You know, I could make them see. The poor dig stuff out of nothing and make something for the world just to be amazed by at the same time. So you know it's a story and it's a journey within a journey. It's a part of our life, and it's what makes us who we are and what makes us you and I who we are each and every day. So what can we do? Basically, the same thing we've been doing is just keep moving and keep working hard and keep moving forward and keep being the best of ourselves and keep our aim and our goals eyes and you know keep the be enthusiastic about life and um, it's just the journey within the journey. I sometimes think that it's amazing that we get to participate and support each other in the way we do. And each and every day, we're here to serve each other, regardless. So even if the guy that's picking up his lunch or his coffee, or the mason that's picking up his lumber at the store, and it's just we there to serve each other, and that's what we do each and every day in the simplest form. And this is what it makes the world goes, and this is what the transformation of everything happening is just the service of each and every one. We serve each other. The service of whether it's food, clothes, whether it's raw material, whether it's infrastructure, whatever the service is. That's that's what we do. We're here to serve each other, and that's what we do each and every day. And it gets really interesting and it's amazing. So now back to the sports as we were getting back to the sports as the World Cups and the different themes and stuff like that. Well, I enjoy watching also enjoy watching the Premier League. I think the Premier League have done something. When you're in the Premier League, open a lot of eyes throughout the world, as Italy did, of how players can come and just imagine how it is for those players too. So if you consider myself, there's players that they're in that country that consider themselves just like me here right now. And I'm just a representative of them in that country, but I'm just a representative in a different way and a different form, and so in a different shape. So they're representing their country, and in the ability that they have, that ability that they're born with, and they so choose to pursue. So I'm there right now. And there's others like me throughout the world right now, and that's just amazing themselves. They are amazing at what they're doing, and they're going and they actually fight the fight Manzukic. I want to say that name correctly. Manzukic is the game between Croatia and France, the 1-1-2 for France. But Croatians, man, oh man, that was an incredible game. That was such a strong game, and they were so resilient. They were so strong in that game. Oh man, you know, it's it's it was breathtaking what Croatia did, and the fight that Croatian put out. The determination. They tried their best, and most of their games went in overtime too. So that was just that was just that was just it was amazing. It was amazing because I felt like Croatia did their ultimate best. They went the level. They did their best. They went, and most of the Croatian games went over in extra time. And so the fight that they fought, it's was awesome to see. It's awesome to see the courage that displayed. It was awesome to see who they really stand for and what they stand for. And Croatia's been a team, you know, Croatians have been a team, one of those countries that's just always, they've always been strong. They've always been had that technical ability. When it comes on to Uruguay and Paraguay, they're also kind of, you know, they're awesome too. They're awesome to watch. Paraguay is nice. Paraguay reminds me a little bit, not so much like how Chile plays. It don't remind me so much about the Chileans. Paraguay tends to a little bit like the Chileans, a little bit like Mexico, kinda when it comes on to Paraguay. When it comes on to me or Uruguay, it's a little bit more of that determination like Argentina would feel. I feel I can make that feeling connection with it's like a little bit more of that Argentinian and Uruguayan, kind of like the same kind of mindset. They'll cut you down the middle with their game and they'll take you. I don't know. It's just the determination for Argentinians are just somehow different too. It's just you know they'll cut you down the middle seriously when Brazil will be like cut you down the middle, but would have a good with kind of a flavor to it, kind of this expression of it's the beautiful game. It's just the game and how to enjoy it. But yeah, it's amazing to see this wonderful time and this wonderful sports. But anyway, there's players like myself in different clubs in different countries across the world. That's like me right here, but I'm doing this, what I'm doing right now, but they're doing what they're doing. And those players, 90% of those players are the players the rows that grew from the concrete. Those players are the players that I said they could play basketball, they could play baseball real well because they get one shot. They get one shot and that one shot, they have to take that one shot. They get that one shot, and that's all there is to it. That one shot, and so that's why I go back to saying, playing baseball, you have to have a certain mindset when you play baseball, because baseball is not like every other sports either. Those that mentality that you have to have, it's kind of you take golf out there too. Golf is a bit. Golf is one of those also you have to really, really work on. And like you have to really work on it to get it to that point. But when it comes on to baseball, man, that one shot is the dream of everyone. That home run, the home run, and that's the dream of every one of us. It's the home run. Every single person on this planet Earth dream of that home run. The home run, the time, the home run. Every single man and woman out there think of a home run. The ladies' home run might be different. It might be about family. It might be about a new career. It might be about the 90% new home, security, love, relationship, something that makes sense to the females. And males, their home run is just so different. Their home run is about it's about exploring and climbing, reaching the moon to the highest peak of their intelligence to sustain that character that they work on tirelessly growing up in early teens, and the person that they have crafted themselves out in at the age of to be in the age of 18, 20, and up to the 20s and 30s to maintain that steady character, because they know, that if that character does change after a while in your late 50s or 60s possible, but to maintain and reach the highest peak as a human, as a man. So a home run, every man and woman think of a home run, whether it's in business, whether it's in being creative, whether it's in products, whether it's in it's anyway, it's just amazing to see this, and it's amazing to understand all of this wonderful scenes, and these appreciate all of this. It's awesome to see it. It's awesome to know it. It's awesome to be a part of it. But anyway, I thanks again for each and everyone out there who supports this. Thanks again for all the ones who care for it, and for the ones that don't. It takes time, I know, and I am happy to be a part of it. I'm happy to for the people who stand for something in it, the people who wants to see the best of it, the people who enjoy seeing the best of it. It's awesome to see something that you're fighting for, and hopefully you can have a good result. And if I'm here at this time to deliver a good result for you, I hope you're happy with the result, and I hope you're happy with this milestone. I hope you're happy with this journey, and I hope I am grateful and happy to meet you and know you. And I appreciate your time out there so much. I really do. I enjoy your time, and I try to give you the best of my time and the best of my ability. I try to give you what I can give you for now, and for this to make sense. So through the valleys and the terrains of the Appalachian Mountains, through the winding turn and curves and the monster cells of the Great Smoky Mountain, into the towns and the small surrounding city of this historic land. Many history of the place and its people. It's also a place that many call home. People, corners of the world, somehow find a home here. It's transformed each and every one to be a part of the core of a county, town, a city, a state, and a country. How remarkable is this story? How remarkable, fireworks, fireworks. How remarkable is the story? This is awesome. And I was I was always wondering and in thoughts of where would this story go, and who would tell the story. But it's quite interesting, I would say. It's find a voice for millions that's also around the world that's venturing to new place to find themselves and express themselves. Express yourself. I'm pretty sure you heard that before. Express yourself. So that's what we are doing at this very minute. But if you want to, I enjoy the great game of soccer. Like I said, basketball is also awesome. Um, Cricket is also nice. Enjoy watching cricket. Cricket is just one of those sports that once you sit in for cricket, cricket is different. Once you sit in on cricket, it's like baseball. You don't want to miss a beat. You just don't. Cricket is just you don't want to miss a beat with cricket. You just want to be there. You want to see every bat. You want to see every bowl. You want to see every ball bowled. You want to see every ball pitch. You want to see every swing of the bat. You want to see every catch from the catchers on the outfield. You want to see every catch from the guys on the slips. You want to see all the midfield. You want to see the catcher. I mean, it's just everything. the slips to set up, the three slips to set up. You want to see every catch from those slips because when the slips catch a ball when they play cricket, and the slips catches a ball, it's kind of like that's unbelievable. That is just that is awesome to see when the way it's set up. And at the home run, 6 runs, 4 runs. When you see that, that is just so nice to. So cricket, baseball, those are two of the sports that, and even golf. Once you get into golf and you're sitting there, you just want to be in the sports. You don't want to leave the sports. You just want to see every. And when you get caught up into watching lawn tennis, also you want to see every run. You want to see every backhand and the forward. Just a beautiful game, and it's just the people like yourself and I. It's just displaying their ability, exercising their passion just throughout the world. And imagine, when riders from around the world will participate in Tour de France. There's millions of riders, and they come into a town also, and they're in a city, sometimes a province, sometimes an area, a district, and they're gonna start their new lives there. They're gonna start their new world there. That this is where they're gonna start again, and they're gonna move forward. So you know, uh, it's an interesting journey for sure. It's interesting for them. It's interesting for everyone that's a part of the mission and a part of the story. But again, it's just amazing. But one of my favorite games that I could recall with the World Cup was, I enjoyed the. I enjoy watching. I enjoy watching Italy and German go at it for. I enjoy watching the Italians and the Germans go at it because there's it's when watching the Italians and the Germans go at it, it's going to be really interesting. You're going to have a game when you watch the Italians and the Germans go at it. You're going to have a game because the Italians are relentless and the Germans are always, they're robust. They're robust. Their determination exceeds their potential at times. So it's interesting to watch that at times. It's interesting to watch France and Croatia because that's going to win. But it's good to watch. It's interesting to watch France and Germany because in the technical ability of France and the robustness of Germany, it's interesting. But some of the games that I really get to watch is the Netherlands and Germans because that's a good matchup at times. But it's like the culture, the risk that the Netherlands take to play. They play with such a confident. The diamond is behind them. The cutting edge is behind them. So it's kind of weird. That's weird setup. How their diamond is at the back. So I don't know how that. I don't know. Understand how that sets the pace in the world for them, but it's a weird way of their setup though, and it's interesting. And I guess is because um, it's just interesting. It's very very interesting. It's very interesting. But the overspill of an idea, it just confirms itself. The overspill, and what the overspill normally bring forth is a goal of some sort. That's goal for the for the flows that go in the concrete. That's really interesting. Uh, that's really interesting. That is really interesting. But anyway, man, my name is Taz Fireworks, and thank you guys so much for being a part and supporting this. Brazil and Germany 2002, Italy and France 2006. And really, really interesting game right there. 2006, that finals was really good. And it changes how we all see the the game now. And I'm not so sure about. Well, one thing I do know that I'm really excited to see was the way that Pep Guardiola changed the game. You know what he changed, and I'm excited to see what Arteta will do because it's such a it's such an intelligent guy, but it's such an intelligent guy, and you could see what's brewing to become and how how he's going to be the future moving forward, and because getting the time with Pep too was really crucial, and I think that was really awesome, and for him to get that time with him, to really, and you can tell that Arteta, when he came and finished his career at Arsenal in the midfield, well, I'm not fully confident, sure, because I've been going through different games at that time. So if he had moved on to a different club after that, after Arsenal, but you could see that the you can see the kind of trait that the game and the impact that he would have and what he would be searching for and what he would be trying that what he'd be playing is and the kind of style that he adores also himself. You could understand that, you could see that, you could see all the different parts, you could see all the different areas for the ability that he exercised when he was playing for Arsenal at the last time. And and concurrent to him having the chance to play with Arteta, that was really awesome, and that was with Pep Guardiola, because Pep Guardiola changed the game, and not just a tiki taka. There's like it's kind of like tiki taka, but the chance in changing the players and having them to play in different ways, in a different position, and that's a chance, and it's a risk at the same time. It's a risk of having them playing and having these players know how to cover for each other. It's it's funny, and it's really funny, and it's really good because you just only can admire this beautiful way of the game and how he uses two extra guys on the out. But again, but you could see this built up, and I guess when he moved to like Europe, he realized that he needed something more, and only him understand what else he saw there, that the way he could work around this situation to make it better. Only him could see this from how he understood, like, okay, for me to capitalize here, for me to win here, because going to play in London is not as easy. I felt like, from my view, I felt like France not as extremely rough and robust. I think, to my feelings, to my thought, I would think Germany and England is two of the, maybe Netherlands also is competitive toughest place to go and practice or play for your country, just to train or be a part of those clubs. I think because they're more robust, it's a more crunching tackle, it's a more 50-50 tackle, it's a more determination of reaching and exceeding the goal. So it's really interesting anyway. But so I think after what he had done in Barcelona, then he went to Germany and with Bayern Munich, and then went to Europe. Then I was thinking, wow, well, it was good for the country though, because it's a what he will do and what he's done also is bring something that all the other coaches that they can like and watch. And what Klopp has done also, just amazing, amazing. just all amazing. It's amazing, amazing. These talents there for this time, and it's awesome. And it's not just so good for the game itself. It's better for the youths to have these great ideas at the tip of their fingers. The men, the people with the great ideas, with the transition ideas of how to transition through time with great ideas. So it's also a result that you will see years down the road later. It's a result that you can't really put your hands and you can really have it as something in hand right now. It's a result that you'll see a few more years, 5, 10 years down the road. Late, it's just the development of the players because once you're youth and you admire great people or great coaches, great leaders, you spend the time to practice and be and do exactly what they do or be like them. So, but this this kind of idea and this kind of attitude won't be displayed in it won't be displayed right this very minute. It will not be displayed right this time. It will be displayed years down the road. It will be displayed months down the road. It will be displayed 5, 10 years. And as a testimony to that is will when the next World Cup, we will see how and what countries and what way and which direction, but the world will move. But according to that, though, now players are different. Players have exceeded their their physical ability to master in the craft. They're taking their ability to perform to a point and a peak point that has never been done before. So eventually, the game even will be faster. Eventually, when you're coming, there's an era when there was 1 or 2 goals scored, maybe 1 or 0 or 0-0 or 0-0, whichever way you put it. It used to be of that nature. But now as you can see, it's a little bit. Now as you can see, it's a little bit different. It's a little bit different. The numbers, there's going to be more numbers on it, and it's just a progression of time where players are going to find themselves to outperform other players, to be the greatest, to be the best of the best. There will and there are the tools and there are the equipments now to really they are the equipments now to really perform to their best of their ability. They're the tools and the requirements are there, and there's the time. The time is there at this time for them to work to their fullest potential, to exceed their potential, to exceed themselves, to exceed the greats, to work twice as hard if they can with the time that they have. So the game will eventually, yes, and it's sped up since the time. It's sped up to a more incredible dimension. But that's just some of the things that happens, across the world at times. And it's awesome to see great men, and it's awesome to see your family members from across the world go out and venture into the world and come and win and try their best and perform to their best and capitalize on the greatness of the time and utilize the time in the way they do to the best of their ability. So I must say it's interesting, it's wonderful, it's great to see. And it's funny because at times everyone would think they want it to be like they want and it's interesting because like every country wants to win at times, but it's sometimes the world rotates, and when the world rotates, and you see different countries are able to get out there and demonstrate and try to make a mark on the world. That's really interesting. I mean, in one of the games, last I want to say the last World Cup, or was it the era? I mean, I see Saka get to take a penalty, and Saka missed the penalty, but it was saved off that side, some of that side, but I'm pretty sure it didn't make it. But even though that it was challenging for him, but I think it still does something for him that he will forever try to make better of himself and forever try to do his best. So it was real a real courage of the coach, because the courage of the coach at times to balance the playing field for both the players on the field and the spectators in the stand. It's also a challenging. Um, it's also a thin line the coach has to walk. And sometimes you think the coach is in charge and being a part of the management team and being a manager or a coach at the times. It's really interesting because at times that you have to satisfy the players on the field, and at times you have to satisfy the spectators in the stand. And the win when the coach win also the coach. It's not the coach's game. The coach even don't win really for himself at times. The win after a while, I feel like the win is not for the coaches. If you can really see that kind of way, it's like it's for either the fans or for the players. The coach is just like the guy in between them, just to receive the good or the the bad situation and try to improve on it. 90% of the times, it's funny when you interview other coaches. There's two ways the conversation can go. The conversation can go either a good way or a bad way. It can either a good result or a bad result. So sometimes it's like the win is not necessarily for the coach himself. The win the win is actually for the players and the fans in the stand. The coach possibly just get a good night rest. That's the win for the coach. Possibly it's just a good night rest. And well, that's really interesting. But if you really the thing is, what's amazing about that too, and what's interesting is millions don't really see it that way. And you know what's interesting? You know what I find really interesting? The journalists, there's something else too. Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure. Sometimes the coach is like, really, I don't even like want to talk to this journalist right now. But anyway, it's the same one that's there that he don't really like. But anyway, but let's keep going because this is really good. Yeah, I'm thinking it's really good too. So the coaches were like, okay, I'm gonna but the win, even if the game was good or bad, like I feel, the win is not for the coach. No, the win is for the players. The win is for the for the fans. Yeah, the win. No, the coach will win a good night's rest. And not if he loses, it's back to the drawing board, isn't it? If he loses, is what we could have done better. If he loses, so he's in between this. He's in between this play, this adventure of life, and the only way and the only time he'll have that enjoyment is when he possibly can reflect on it and have a good laugh at it, and just think to himself, "This was amazing and this was interesting at the same time." Yeah, because if you're a coach and you're in the coach's shoes, what do you think? You know, What's your thought? What's your thought on this situation? I mean, you would understand too. It's like owning a business. At times, sometimes in the business, you're there to deal with the either you're there to do with the loss or the gains. It's just in that world, and you have different people and different um, questions that you have to answer. And there are different questions being asked, and you have to possibly come up with the best answers at times. So I cannot imagine being a coach, and what in the different ideas, the different perspective, the different outlook, because it's Roberto Baggio. Yeah, it's okay, guys. I was just reflecting on a game between yeah, it was Brazil and Italy. It's the final, and Roberto was really sad. I really felt that one for Roberto Baggio. I think he had a brother, Di Baggio, on it too, but I'm not so sure. But hey, I'm not so sure, but Trezeguet had a really hard time too with a penalty back in one of the World Cups, one of the penalty shootout. It's so crucial when you get to that point. If you have a one shot and one shot of happiness, one shot of joy, one shot to make a difference, to make a change in life, in world, in the history of us, in the history of you and I, in the culture, in it's magnificent. At the same time, it's gut wrenching. It's sometimes I mean, so Roberto Di Baggio, I mean, I know he must have felt like he wanted her to open up, and because Italian players with the game different, they play with their heart and their soul. They'll literally cry tears. They're grown guys and they will just shed tears. Brazil on the other end, when you see Brazil play, they'll cry so that things, they'll always be laughing about this different situations. So it's just the fun that they play it with. It's just that beauty they play it with, and I am grateful to be in the era that to see Messi got the chance to win and get the chance to lift the trophy, and it's always been a dream of him to win it, and it's his players and its country, and you know work tirelessly with families and friends. And I could imagine being across the world, leaving your family and friends. So sometimes for my fans out there that's working towards the greatest success, this is some challenging road when you're across the way, halfway across the world, leave your family and leave your friends, and it's not necessarily the hearts in your pockets at times, but it's somehow in coincident, the hearts in your pockets, in venturing in a new world, to the hearts in your pockets, man. That was a really tough one. That's really tough one out there. I know I couldn't throw that one you on a day when it's raining like this. I know it's yeah. I know I couldn't throw that one in you like this out there today when it's raining so hard, but that's how it is, in all sports. Sometimes we venture into a new world, a new district, a new town, a new place, a new country, and we leave with hearts in our pockets without knowing this is what we're doing. And it's an epic story. It's incredible to know, and to those are the hearts that you feel like you want to carve the diversity in that way and to share it in that form. And so, as I ask you this very day, as you as you're up there in your car, your desk behind your work table, or you're at work, or where whose heart is in your pocket, and whose hearts have been in your pocket, and have you come to terms with that? Wow, it's such a feeling. It's out there, and it's expressing that way, in that shape, and in that how. But how can it be like that? But it is like that. And they're fighting for the great success of the ability to win and to create and build and explore this awesome world and this awesome time. And we sometimes tend to carry loved ones in our pockets, and it's incredible, and it's a sad story at times, but it's the journey within the journey for us all, and the journey that we share together as people. And we're here to serve each other. It's an amazing thing. It's an amazing story also, because we serve each other in every way possible at the end of the day. Sometimes some really good thoughts, sometimes some really bad thoughts, sometimes some cruel ideas, sometimes some really cruel thoughts, sometimes some cruel feelings, sometimes with some cruel actions, sometimes cruel ends. Anyway, hey, this is Freshly Design 360. My name is Stas Fireworks. We're in sports today. A little bit more sports. We can get some more in depth thing about sports. The great, great game, the wonderful game. But I want to touch in on some cricket at times too. So for the fans out there who are cricket fans, for the guys out there who are baseball fans, for the guys out there that's football, you get to learn the different sports as you venture into a different world. I used to admire Sampras. Agassi. I used to watch those guys long time ago playing tennis. Andy Roddick playing lawn tennis. um, Nadal playing tennis. Them guys are good. Federer, oh my God, that guy Federer, he's terrible. Yeah, I would not want to play against that guy. Oh man, he have you running both sides for no reason, trying to keep up with these kind of ideas. Anyway, it's interesting, but I will go through and we hang out and talk some more about cricket at times. We go through and talk some more about baseball at times, because baseball is that sports, that one shot mentality, that one shot, that home run. I want to grab a hold of that word, home run, because that's how it's going to be like for you when you get home today. And all your families are there. Everyone made it in. A home run. You just made a home run strike today. If you completely work, you're fixing to get off at 2 o'clock, at 4 o'clock on this rainy, gloomy day. Home run when you get up. I know you're gonna feel like victory vibes. You're gonna feel like victory feeling, because I consider Friday as a victory day. I don't know why. It's just that feeling. It's just like a victory day, because everyone looks forward to this time of the day. Everyone looks forward to this day, and it's funny. It's funny how we look for it, all of us. It's a change of feeling, it's change of emotion. I know kids, when they're in school, they normally look forward to this day. I know they enjoy a Friday rolling in, and they can look forward to have a time to recollect, to be away, to get away. Because the kids are like human, like us. Like I said, when you take the rich buy a yacht and get out there in the ocean to be away. Sometimes we all need that, especially parents at times. Parents does need to get away at times. Mom especially. Sometimes you find some mom lock themselves in the bathroom. So no, it's not. And they lock themselves in the room. They're not really crazy. They're just trying to not be crazy. So that's why sometimes they take a time to break and have themselves in a room. You might see your mom painting, or they do a little extra shopping or spending. It's just the way of parents or mom gets away. Sometimes they say, oh, they're addicted to shopping and go hold on this money. It's not necessarily addicted to shopping at times. It's just a way of trying to get out of the combustion chamber for themselves, trying to get out there and free their mind and free their brains up. And some people look forward to spending sometimes just to have something to break the ice of that tough, hard, challenging part of life, and what life does, and what life makes, and how life makes them feel. But fireworks to all the family out there and the friends that's out there that support this channel. This is Freshly Design 360. Again, my name is Taz, and it's been an awesome time with you guys today. I'll see you guys up on the Insta so we can play along and have some fun and keep it going. I enjoy this game. We got our friends out there on Insta. I know, they're friends, huh? And they're cool too. Yeah, there's some cool people out there. Yeah, they'll be smiling. I don't like that. I'm looking at that smile at times and trying to figure out, like, wait, who with that cool smile? You know, there's some cool smile over there. Like, there's some good ones over there. Yeah, but there's some smile. Yeah, I try to not even look at. Yeah, I know they're trying to make you think and stuff. I'm like looking at them like thinking, are you for real? Yeah, they be saying some stuff like, I tell them wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning, they'll be sleeping and like I've seen the morning star. None of them on Gram don't see the morning star because they don't die early because they've been up all night. I know what they've been doing, trying to not sleep. Like it don't even work like that. But there's some good things out there. I see they post up some good stuff. We gotta fly over the Twitch too and see what's happening because hey, I remember I said before I go. I mean, I got 1 minute. Remember I said there's three different levels. The Facebook is for the poor people. The middle class is Insta, and the wealthy are on the tweets on the bird. No, that's what. But sometimes you interchange. Sometimes some of the poor the scope on the tweets be like, "What's up?" Then the wealthy people are like, "What are you doing up here?" No, I just want to think that's it's real funny. They're like, no, because they all watch. They want the people. They watch on Twitter too. They're like, who's that one? We need him up here. No, kick him out back. We don't need your bullshit up here. Anyway, forward. It's 12 o'clock. My name is Stas. Hey, thanks again, family. Each and everyone out there. Hope you have a wonderful day. And I'll see you at 4 so we can go down on the day and take it easy. But for right now, it's been a wonderful day. It's been a wonderful experience. I appreciate each and everyone.